Deepti Kalar is with me on the set to take a look at the papers. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Jeannie.
You're starting in India, where the sixth phase of voting in the national elections, the massive national elections there, was held in the capital, Delhi, yesterday.
That's right, among other places. This is the penultimate phase of India's gigantic national elections that'll end next weekend, and we'll get the results later this month. Residents in the capital of Delhi, and not all residents in certain districts of Delhi, they headed to the polling stations yesterday. The turnout was lower than 5 years ago. That's what the Times of India notes on its front page. And you see some of the people who voted in that election. One woman voted after having just given birth. The other person you see there is a cricketer, Virat Kohli, also casting his ballot. You know, there are a lot of first-time voters in this election, as is always the case. A lot of young voters, and it's really important because they do make up a large part of India's population. The Times of India notes that this time around, young voters aren't voting based on political affiliation, but more on issues that are really important to them, like unemployment, like transport, like safety for women in public spaces, and education.
Deepti, here in France, a lot of the papers are focusing on the trial of Patrick and Isabelle Balkany. Now, they're a high-profile political couple who are facing corruption charges.
That's right. The couple are accused of hiding more than 13 million euros from French tax authorities and may face charges of tax fraud and money laundering. They're really an infamous couple here in France, the Balkanys. Patrick Balkany was the mayor of a wealthy Parisian suburb called Levallois, and he ruled his commune with a sort of iron fist. He's been dogged by corruption charges for years, but nothing's really stuck around long enough to stop him from actually standing from re-election. This trial could change that, hence why you see on the front page of the center-left paper there, Libération, the left-leaning rather, no more laughing for Balkany. While for the local paper in Paris, Le Parisien, it's time to settle accounts, and perhaps it's the end of an era, 40 years of political life. The paper evoking what it calls the downfall of the Balkany house, or the Balkany family.
Next to Cyprus, where many people there have been protesting over a serial killer case that shocked the country.
And it's the first in Cyprus, at least in Cyprus's modern history. This case has really sparked a lot of public outcry, protesters even taking to the streets of the capital this weekend. This has been going on for some weeks now, but they're outraged over the police's handling of the disappearances of several foreign women, some of whose bodies have now been found in the country's first serial killer case. The disappearances of these foreign workers initially went ignored by authorities. Then a chance discovery led to a body in a mine shaft that launched a national investigation that ended with the confession of a serial killer, Nikos Metaxas, a National Guard officer. We found an article from the Cyprus Mail, an opinion piece that talks about how this case has really revealed some very uncomfortable truths about the island. I quote, "Tourists are welcomed with open arms as they burn through their holiday spending cash, but migrant domestic workers, quote, live behind closed doors. They're a parallel population taking on responsibility without ever really acquiring many rights in the country."
American actress Alyssa Milano now has called for a sex strike. That's over a new anti-abortion law in the state of Georgia.
That's right. These laws ban abortions as soon as there's a fetal heartbeat detected, which can be as early as 5 or 6 weeks. Sometimes a woman doesn't even know she's pregnant at that time. It does provide exceptions for rape and incest, but the laws have sparked backlash from those who say it infringes on women's reproductive rights. A host of celebrities have joined that backlash, and Alyssa Milano called last week for women to go on a sex strike to protest these laws. But women have actually criticized that because they say that she's presenting sex as something given by women to men, which is not empowering at all. So basically, there's been a backlash to the backlash, and it's left people feeling really confused and probably not really understanding what the actual issue was in the first place.
Deepti, now just to wrap up, yesterday, Sunday, was Mother's Day in the United States and Australia, several other countries, and you found an article that explains why moms are heroes.
I feel like we don't actually need an article to explain that, but this article uses psychology to support that statement, Jeannie. So they said that basically American people, when asked to name their heroes out of presidents, humanitarians, family members, they not always, a lot of them pick their moms, consistently naming their moms as heroes. And psychology actually shows that that's true because in 1943, a psychologist called Abraham Maslow, he conceived his famous hierarchy of human needs and discovered that every step of the way in a human life, a mom is providing those needs for a person. They actually fulfill the 4 pillars that make up a hero: providing defense and protection, embodying intelligence and wisdom, displaying model moral behavior, and promoting enhancement and inspiration. 4 pillars that make up a hero and a mom as well.
Well, happy late Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there and to all of the mothers among us. Deepi, thank you so much for that look at the press review today. Don't forget, you can always take a closer look at that press review on our website. That address is France24.com.